We began our design process by observing the components of regular chairs and took note of which types of structures hold up the most amount of weight using the least amount of material. We also studied how one uses a chair and how human behavior affects the chair when it comes to the distribution of their individual weight when at rest.
The resistance of the cardboard is given in great part by the structures in between the laminates. Therefore, if you cut it against the grain, what happens, you tend to collapse this little structure here. And obviously, what happens then is that it loses strength. So if you do a circle, you avoid buckling. It has a bigger inertia of the shape.
After the interview, we took in all of the engineers' tips and then we began to brainstorm as a team. We came up with a few different possible bases for our chair as well as different methods of building. At that point, we weren't sure which ideas would work and which wouldn't, so we split up and individually created prototypes. After evaluating our individual model scales, we came together to build the full-scale models.
Alright, mistake number 1. We cut these bands the wrong way, and by we I mean I.
We failed fast and we failed often when we began to test our prototypes. We did this so we could see what failed or what worked, and we continued to play around with our ideas. Once we had tested the chair out ourselves, we began to make a new chair that was as lightweight and as strong as possible, while its base structure remaining similar to what we knew worked. We adjusted the supporting bands and added more features to our chair, which made it much more resistant to heavier loads. After we had tested out our prototypes as a team, we were almost done with our final chair. We first made sure that our final chair was structurally sound and that it met all of the requirements. We then decided that our chair was ready to be tested by others outside the team that weighed over 200 pounds. We noted all the strengths and weaknesses that were validated by our testers. Our 3 testers all agreed that our chair had great aesthetic and felt very durable. The negatives concerning our chair surrounded the fact that the seat was too small to be considered comfortable.